Hello, and welcome to How to Play D&D, the explainer podcast with one experienced dungeon master and one failed scriptwriter to discuss D&D topics. My name is Kinsey, and my ridiculously inadequate pod partner is Lewis McCaffery. You're just taking my joke.
You did that to me one day, and it felt right. It felt natural in the moment.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all good. How you doing?
I'm grand. Yeah.
Cool.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm right. What have you been up to today?
Nothing. Yeah.
I'm a little insulted you don't have your own joke.
Yeah.
He's not the only one. I have two housemates, and
we both steal his jokes.
Both steal
I'm not
my
as
jokes.
bad. I'm not the worst.
No, it's true.
I'm not the worst.
True.
I just steal everything else.
And he's here today.
If he actually came in, then I'd probably squeal.
If he fell through the ceiling, that would be
with
a
his
great
own chair,
podcast
just
opening.
right there.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I am going to slowly etch at the ceiling till he doesn't know, and then when he's working from home,
I hope so. You know what?
Through.
One day, what we should do is, like, rather than have our phones on this stands like we do, carry our phones around while we're recording, just walk into his room and just start the podcast around him. Well, he probably wouldn't say a thing.
Or do it for months, and when he's not there. And then when he finally watches the podcast, he'll see that we've been doing the whole podcast in his room.
Please, can we do that?
That would be beautiful. Can you guess what class we are checking out today?
I'm going to guess rogues, actually, just based on the topic of where we've gone.
Well, you're not far off. Okay. It's Warlocks. Let's get to it. Okay, so today's episode is on Warlocks, D&D's sexiest Lovecraftian spam cannon class that requires you to just hit Eldritch Blast on the D-pad.
What? I mean, fair enough. That is a fair assessment.
I'm not against it. I do love it. I don't like DMing for them. Love being one.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's that, Same for rogues.
It's just a very, very particular way of describing it, but I like it.
Trying to be edgy.
Yeah,
trying to be cool, modern.
I'm always edgy.
Yes. Lewis.
Hello.
I've been awarded the opportunity to name a new continent, and I've called it Shitmunch Alley. What celebrity should I invite to Shitmunch? What am I doing?
Why is it called Shitmunch Alley if it's a continent?
Dunno, just why not?
I mean, the first two obviously have to... You know who they have to be. You know who you have to invite.
Barbara Streisand.
No, I was going to say Tom Hanks and Stuart Little.
Yes.
Because your two favourite people in the world.
Yes. My dream is to get Tom Hanks on this podcast.
Oh, yeah, that's the dream.
And not even tell him I'm a big fan. And then not even
not ask that he purposely doesn't listen to the podcast.
100%.
What do you do if one day Tom Hanks just commented saying, this isn't funny?
I'd ask him out for a 1v1 on Rust. For anyone who knows that, you're getting old like I am.
Yeah, even I know what that is. And you're constantly making jokes about my age. But you invite Tom Hanks and Stuart Little. I feel like Danny DeVito, he might be into a bit of that.
I think Danny DeVito would be hilarious in D&D.
Oh, yeah.
He'd be a fucking nightmare. I don't think he'd know where he is either.
Who do you think, very off topic here, who do you think could be the best and worst celebrity to DM for?
Ooh. I reckon The Rock, because he's in his contract, you can only hit him a certain amount of times.
Okay, yeah.
And he has to win every fight.
Yeah.
So he'd be shit, wouldn't he?
Yeah, true, actually.
He's already boring as a pro wrestler.
If you're not allowed to beat him,
Yeah, it's true.
So that's worst. I don't know, I quite like that answer. I don't really know if I'd have a worst. Best, Matt Smith I'd like to DM for. Yeah. I just love Matt Smith, so...
Is Matt Smith Doctor Who guy?
Yeah.
Well, for Game of Thrones. House of Dragon.
Well, yeah, I've still not seen House of Dragon.
Oh, well, you should.
So no spoilers,
it's
please.
Medieval fantasy, how are you not watching it?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's probably my favourite. Yeah. Okay. That's who you invite. That's who you invite to Shitmunch Alley.
Matt Smith and The Rock. Okay, let's get into the questions. Can you summarise the type of class a Warlock is?
Yes, so a Warlock is a half caster again, so they do have the ability to cast spells and things like that, but they also have the option to go for more of a martial, like I imagine it with the Eldritch Blast and things, but going in with the rapier as well. So you can do a bit of both.
Yeah, like a camp vampire wizard.
Yes, well, yeah, exactly.
Not vampires, but you know what I mean. They kind of dress like that.
Exactly,
they're with the devil.
Yeah, they're proficient in light armor and simple weapons, so they've got a bit of mobility to the way that they're
Warlocks to me is basically everyone, all of the cast of Interview with a Vampire. You know, the big white frilly white,
I
like
don't
kind
think
of Renaissance
Yeah, I know what you mean.
clothing. You know, kind of Lovecraftian,
Yeah.
like packs with things from not this world.
Yeah, I feel like you expect
romantic.
Yeah, you expect Warlocks to be quite charming.
Yeah, like a dark romanticism kind of vibe. You know, there's definitely people out there who love them.
Oh,
Definitely,
and you're one of them.
yes, I am. What die does a player roll when leveling their Warlock?
So they have a D8 for hit points, which again I'll summarise in each of these episodes. That what that means is whenever you level up, you roll a D8 and add your Constitution modifier, and that's how many hit points you gain.
Nice. Okay, D8 again. D8
to get quite a lot of them, I think, have a D8.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, well, it's not fair, but that's the rules.
That's
the rules.
Those the dice, baby.
Yes. What are the main stats a player should focus on when creating a Warlock?
I think, unlike a lot of the other ones, there are really only two for this one, in my opinion. There's Charisma, obviously, because that's your spellcasting modifier. Whenever you cast Eldritch Blast, which that's all you'll be casting, that's the attack modifier and things like that. So Charisma, definitely, and Dexterity, I'd say. One, because with the light armor, you're going to need that Dexterity boost for your AC, and if you're using a finesse weapon like a rapier, like we said, that is the attack modifier you'll be using.
Yeah, makes sense. Once again, the whole charisma thing, I think makes complete sense.
Yeah.
There's kind of, they've got this like luring, like I said, this gothic romanticism about them that, to me, charisma really makes sense to kind of...
Yeah, I mean, if you think of a Warlock as what it is, it's a person who's managed to charm their way into a contract with like an otherwororldly being or something, so it makes sense that charisma is their main one.
Okay, what makes the Warlock such a great class to play? Have you played a Warlock?
I think I've played a Warlock once, not in a campaign, or once or twice in one-shots and things like that, but I think for me, I see Warlocks as very much like a support class kind of thing, and that's... Being a support class is always useful, but where I think Warlocks shine, and this is coming from a DM perspective, is I love the idea of running a campaign where you actively involve the Warlock's patron.
Yeah.
So, again, I said it a second ago, but for new players that don't know what that is, a Warlock gets their magic through a pact or like a contract with some creature that can give them power. It might be a devil, a god, it might be anything. And or like a genie, for example. I like the idea of having a very intense roleplay story with a Warlock kind of thing.
Yeah.
I think those and Paladins are the two that like their roleplay is going to be very unique, I think.
Yes, definitely. And with that high charisma modifier as well, it makes complete sense that they are a support class in the sense that they are roleplay heavy. They'll get things done to that part. I mean, obviously they're going to Eldritch Blast their way through combat, but also, there are lots of subclasses to Warlock that isn't just Eldritch Blast, but that's kind of what people do.
Oh, definitely. And the Eldritch Blast, even though we shit on it because everyone uses it,
it's fantastic.
It is fantastic.
That's why people use it.
It's very good, not just for damage, but control as well, because with the Repelling Blast, you can push enemies 5 feet with it, so it's great.
What makes No, I've already said that one. Could you name 3 feats you'd personally take when building a Warlock? I do not know why I'm reading things in the wrong way today. I'm so sorry, guys.
You know what? Ridicule this man.
I'm
Please.
ridiculously inadequate, and I'm a pod partner.
It's beautiful, man. That's poetry.
Thank you.
So, first one I've said straight away, which is the same for almost any kind of full or half caster we've mentioned, is Warcaster. It's just always a solid feat for any spellcaster. It's kind of, for me, it's kind of like the go-to. It's what every caster
needs. You're keeping your concentration. Or you're more likely to keep the concentration going on.
And it is especially important for the classes that aren't going to focus on Constitution.
Yeah.
Which I'd say Warlock's one of them. I've gone for Weapon Master, which allows you to pick 4 weapons to become proficient in, which, for a Warlock who is only proficient in simple weapons, having the option to then wield a greatsword, for example, can be fantastic.
No, I wouldn't have thought of that. That's a good idea,
especially if you want to go for more of a frontline, more of a damaging Warlock who's not always relying on spells.
Yeah.
I think that's a really useful one to go for.
No, that's cool. And it just, even if you're not thinking about combat, just having that allows, it's just the open options for the player to kind of even play a different way. Like, they can have a different personality trait as that character, that they've got this weapon for a certain reason, or makes them stand out in that class.
Exactly, it's just a bit different, isn't it?
Nice. What was your last feat, or do you have more?
I've one more.
Okay, yeah.
So, Spell Sniper, which not only doubles the range of your spell attacks, but also those attacks, not the save and throw ones, just the spell attacks, that makes it so it ignores half and 3/4 cover, which can be insanely useful. Also, you can learn one cantrip in, I think it's almost any of the spell tables, like Bard, Druid, a Wizard, Sorcerer, and whatever cantrip you pick. Let's say if it's from the Wizard cantrip list, you have to use your intelligence modifier for that. So
you have to match what it would have originally come from.
So you could pick a Sorcerer, for example, and
nice.
And then it'll just be charisma.
Cool. Good. Once again, just a bit of variety to the class.
Exactly.
It's definitely a class that feels like it hones in on one type of play.
Yeah.
And so if you've got a way of
mixing that up,
it's nice to see for players and DMs.
Definitely.
Cool. Do you have anything else to add before I go to the outro?
You know what? I do, actually.
I knew you were good. I weren't letting you have it. I'll kill you on screen.
The next episode's just you on your own with a cardboard cutout of me. That's beautiful. Yes, so thinking of people in movies, TV shows, pop culture, can you think of anyone you would assume would be a warlock?
Yeah, like the Castle Interview with a Vampire.
Yeah.
If you watch that, I definitely feel like a warlock is that kind of thing where it's got that kind of suave, charismatic, historical, like Renaissance kind of period about it, where they're very much in our actual history. Very much in the idea of like myth and religion, kind of like they cross over very well. And I would say anyone with that. I don't know a specific person who stands out and go, they're clearly this. But definitely from films, I would say anything kind of vampire based.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, with the vampire kind of like the, not gothic, but that kind of vibe.
Yeah. No, I do think it's gothic. Yeah. It fits that kind of, Bloodborne, Dark Souls kind of thing,
I think for me, I've not seen the TV show of this, but I've seen the movie. Have you seen I think it's Shadowhunters or something like that?
No, I'm not.
That's basically, if I remember correctly, because it's been years since I watched that, a group of almost like, not angel, like magic people, I don't know. Yeah. They go around killing demons and things like that. No one can see them, but they go in with like swords and have a bit of magic, things like that. I imagine something like that. Nice. Be a warlock.
I'm trying to think. This is awful. The guy who literally is H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh, okay.
Lovecraft himself. Would make complete sense if he was a warlock.
I like it.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, well, today's adventure is sadly coming to a close. We're back again next week with the topic, are birds tiny or are they permanently further away than we think?
Birds are government drones.
There we go. You've heard it here first, folks. And as always, thank you for tuning in. And if you'd like to join in on the D&D action or the conspiracy theories, then please follow us on Instagram and TikTok at How to Play D&D, or check out our link in the bio to join our Discord server. And for the BTS of sessions, bloopers, blogs, early access to episodes, and even live Q&As, check out our Patreon at patreon.com/howtoplaydnd. And I think we're getting them tested. It's fine. I've been Connor Kinsey.
I've been Lewis McCaffery.
Good day.
Goodbye.